Yeah, and the thing is that it's not just like we talk about global access being a primarily controller mission, but it's not though because PJs, SR, TACPs play a part. Like there is a precision strike aspect of global access, which the controllers and the TACPs take care of. There is a reconnaissance aspect of global access that SR takes care of, right? There is a medical aspect, and not just that, not just medical. Like we task the PJs to do airfield stuff too. Kind of like how if we're doing a mass cache scenario, I'm not just gonna if I don't have aircraft, I'm not just gonna sit there like waiting for aircraft. You're gonna put me to work with my
Yeah.
limited medical training, right?
Hmm.
But you're still going to, hey, plug that hole, put a tourniquet on that dude, do the, just like on an airfield or a FARP site or something like that, I'm gonna go, Aaron, I need you to go over there and whatever it is. Like,
Yeah.
so everybody plays a role in that.
Yeah. And since you transitioned so good, I'm mad that Trent isn't here to see these transitions so that he can make his segue game better because it's terrible. I just love how, damn it, he has like a movie quote or some sort of weird quote that he says, and then he just moves on. So it's great. But speaking about those medical capabilities and how the PJs really fit inside of this is something called MedCap, and that is a medical civil affairs program. Is actually what that stands for. I know that acronym. Talk to me about a little bit of MedCap, and we'll start with the assessment of those medical capabilities.
You want me to cover it? Okay, I
Yeah,
was
man,
actually.
hit it up. I'll put you on. That's good. No, I'll talk
Okay, well, I
about.
mean, I
Yeah,
can tell you what I think from my
good.
perspective, and then you can tell me how wrong I am.
Okay.
So it kind of goes back to that conversation that we've had previously about, what's the difference between a PJ and an 18 Delta. Like I look at PJs as being trauma experts, kind of definitely stepping into the pharmaceutical realm as well, but primarily high angle rescue, trauma, swift water rescue, like that
Yeah,
person.
mass casualty. Yeah,
Right, mass casualty. Whereas your 18 deltas are more clinically based. Like they can handle trauma. I'm not denigrating 18 deltas, but they can handle
they're
trauma.
great.
But their game is 100% clinical in the pharmaceutical realm. So typically you're going to see 18 deltas doing med caps out in, while they're doing key leader engagements at villages and stuff like that, doing dental work. But you guys have also stepped into that game, and that's an important aspect of global access because now, as we are entering a village or an area that Americans haven't been in a while, or we're coming in there. We're bringing supplies. We're bringing medical capabilities, and now the PJs get to work. How
Yeah,
well did I cover
absolutely.
that?
Man, you crushed it. I'm so proud of you. I'm so proud of you. Yeah, but you hit it dead on, right? So nobody says no to medicine, and when we start talking about what do we need placement and access. So I've done a couple of med caps. The most notable one that I've done was, in the Horn of Africa. We drove a little bit west, and 2 or 3 hours west, and we went to a small village, and we went there, and we were no kidding. And by the way, med caps are not only done on the Green Beret side of the house, but they're done on the Army civil affairs side of the house too. That's actually the number one entity that does like a lot of the med caps is civil affairs. And we tagged in with them. We were like, hey, we think we can get after this, and it opened up my mind. It was the first one I went on, which is probably why it's so fresh for me. But they were like, hey, we're there to provide medicine. There's not a lot that you can do for this village. Like some of them need follow on care. Like I tell this story all the time, but no kidding. A guy, a gentleman walked in. He was in his 70s or 80s. He'd been tuberculosis positive for about 40 years of his life. We hook him up to the monitor because there are things that you can do. Like, hey, they feel like, it's a way to, interact with them, and you're having conversations with them, which is the biggest part of this thing, right? We want to win hearts and minds, but really the phrase is you want to win that human terrain. The next time something happens and we come back to that village, we want them to go, oh, you're the one that gave me this medicine. You're the one that gave me this medical care. But I distinctly remember an 18 Delta, a civil affairs medic, and I were looking at this monitor, and everything that we've ever learned told us that this rhythm on the monitor should have killed this guy. Like he was in a sustained, non-sustainable rhythm, and we were just dumbfounded. We left him on the monitor for like 15 minutes, and we're just like, is this guy having an event? And the 18 Delta like kind of looked at me and was like, "Hey, bro, This guy walked 10 miles with no water in the African heat to come see us, and he's going to walk home. Like, do you think that we could? He's like, we might kill him by treating him for what we see on this. So we're just like, okay, cool. Well, here's a multivitamin. I hope you have a good day.
That guy needs to be studied. We need to bring him back to the U.S. and
Yeah,
study him.
absolutely. But you know what? The whole time, and to wrap this into like, how does it support agile combat employment and how does it support the actual mission that we're getting after? That whole time, you know what we were asking him? Hey, does anybody come into your village and take your supplies? Are there anybody here from ISIL? Are there anybody here that's walking around that you don't like? Where's the nearest hospital? If we weren't here, where would you go to get medical care? That's valuable information, and all of that is aggregated, and then it's put into a system because that does support agile combat employment. You need to know where those medical facilities are, and PJs are uniquely qualified to gain access to that medical infrastructure.
Yep. Yep. Absolutely.
Bam,
Bam.
bam.